Hi, I'm Sarthak Dubey, and this is Pallavi Santhosh. We are the authors of this project, Activity Recognition with Mobile and Wearable Devices. Our mentor is Professor Jim Osborne. Okay, what the project is about. The problem, starting with the problem statement, it's to use together mobile and wearable sensor readings and task time and motion scripts to detect and log a person's activity. Now, what this project aims is, it's to collect data to one of the three processes. First is a user-initiated or proactive process. That is where you collect data from a user's daily activity routine. The second is the experience sampling or ecological momentary assessment, which is basically prompting the user every for a specific interval of time and asking them what they did at that specific time. Then it's the end of day review, where at the end of the day, you get to review what you have done throughout the day, and you can fill in the blanks that you have missed, or you can correct whatever unwanted data that was added. This is the high-level architecture of our entire project. Uh, for now, we have done till collecting timestamp data, and the future scope is the one that has already been blurred. We started off with prefetch routine from the user, where the user gives in his daily activity routine. Then we have a mobile application that that does this prefetching from the user. Then we prompt the user about his activity in a specific time interval, and then we collect the timestamp data for the end of day review. Now, why are we doing this? Why do you want to track somebody's activity and recognize it? There are a few reasons for that and a few applications. The first is it can help researchers in activity tracking and logging with data set to work with. There is no specific data set that is existing right now, so we are working on developing that data set. Then it can aid in home automation ideas. For example, if I get up at 9 o'clock in the morning and I have coffee at 9:15, then the coffee machine can automatically start at 9:15 and get my coffee ready. Then there is operation research studies that can help in increasing the productivity and minimizing other factors that they plan on minimizing. Then deviation from routine can be a cause of concern. For example, if every day I get up at 9 o'clock in the morning and one specific day I get up at 11, then there might be a cause of concern as to why I woke up so late, and it can give a alert to somebody who's close by. Then this is the entire project where it's split into three parts. First is a collection of user schedule. This is done by a single app called the Bucket Lister. What it does is it classifies activities into four different buckets. One is daily predictive, daily non-predictive, weekly predictive, and weekly non-predictive. So the user sorts whatever the activities he does into these four buckets. And the Bucket Lister, the data from the Bucket Lister is sent to the second app, which is the Interrogator. Pallavi will take over what the Interrogator is about.
Talk about that. So we have a second app which is called the Interrogator, which basically interrogates you, say, every 15 minutes of the day to figure out what you're doing through the day. How do we get 15 minutes? So we had to choose 15 minutes out of a trade-off between how many number of activities we would miss through the day and the annoyance of the user at being asked to look at your phone and enter data at, say, every minute. So based on that, we have a few graphs, and we decided that 15 minutes was the ideal time interval to do this. Okay, so here we have the bucket lister, which basically classifies your activities into daily predictable, daily non-predictable, weekly predictable, and weekly non-predictable. So what this means is daily predictable is when you perform an activity every day at the same time. Daily non-predictable will be every day, but not at the same time each day. Weekly predictable will be every week, the same day of each week. And weekly non-predictable will be happening every week, but probably not on the same day. So you enter in your details. And yes, so first I go ahead and select my daily predictable activities, which could be breakfast, shower, bathroom, grooming, lunch, dinner, okay. And I add them to a file. Moving on, daily non-predictable would be, let's see, phone calls, Skype calls, and watching TV shows. Weekly predictable would be something like classes, meetings, and religious observances, going to the church maybe, dining out, add to file. And weekly non-predictable would be groceries, laundry, because I don't know what day of the week I do it on. And watching a movie, maybe leisure activities, add it to a file. And here you can go ahead and review everything that you just entered. Okay, so moving on to the interrogator. First we move on to day 0 where you enter your schedule. So right now, assuming a 5-minute day, I just say, hey, I'm having breakfast right now. Adds to the file. And I just wait for a notification to come up, which would take 5 minutes. So just for the purpose of the demo, I'm going to go ahead and say next minute I had a phone call. And probably again. Okay. So what this does essentially is it writes it into a file. Which is based on the hour. Which would say, hey, at 3:08 I had breakfast, phone calls, and religious observances. And file.text would tell me 8:30 to 8:45 was breakfast, 8:45 to 8:00 was phone calls, and 8:45 to 8:00 again was religious observances. But how this works is based on converting hours to minutes and minutes to seconds. So, yeah.